When you know what you are doing, as Feldenkrais would say, you can do what you want. My name is Samantha, and I am a Guild-certified Feldenkrais practitioner. I am coming back for my third year as a guest clinician for the Cleveland Trombone Seminar. And as in past years, I'll be offering a clinic. New this year, we'll also be offering some private sessions. And the private sessions, a handful of them will be subsidized by CTS. So many of you may have heard from your teachers that you carry too much tension, you play with too much tension. So the tension that we hold can build into pain. Many of the musicians I work with begin to study Feldenkrais to recover from injury, or aches or pains from hours of practice, but end up being struck by its overall general effect on their level of performance. And I myself began this way. I was a dancer, and I knew how to work really hard, and I was very successful by working really hard, but I was also successful at injuring myself, and I began Feldenkrais. But it had some greater benefits than the physical therapy or the Pilates had with previous injuries. What I found was that I actually improved beyond my injury. So for me as a dancer, I could jump higher, I could turn faster, I could balance better than all of the hard work had ever gotten me. All the benefits from hard work had actually created a glass ceiling, a plateau for me. Even if I couldn't see it, I found a faster way to improve. Tightness and tension often inhibit the very thing we want to accomplish. Recently, I was working with a violinist who had shoulder pain every time she went to pick up her instrument to play. And she would lock here and then try to move the shoulder. This is maybe a little simplified to describe to you the process, but I could see that the shoulder was working very much because there was no movement lower down. There was a lot of holding. So I had the student lie on the table and I moved her gently and instructively in how she used herself, how she was organized, supporting her where she was, not trying to stretch her into something else, as she was. So when she returned to sitting and we played with having an idea of movement, of moving the pelvis, of having a relationship to the shoulders, it was this small grain change that allowed her sound to change, allowed her to have the shoulder share some of its work with the rest of the body. I gave no instruction on how to change the music, but there it was, spontaneously available after some investigation. Each lesson with each student is different, and we discover together how the student is, how they can play, add variations with your movements, deepening and building bridges between options. We develop a series of questions together. How do you produce sound? Is it an idea or a feeling or movement? Can you involve more of yourself in that? You always have the capability to change and to progress and to continue learning. And as a musician, you understand this. But sometimes we get blocked by pain, by injury, or you feel that there's a level of improvement that has based off. How do we keep growing and get past that in a way that's different than just to keep practicing the instrument? So this is the biggest question that I ask and work with all artists is how do you improve? We know by practice, by achieving, knowing in a system. But improvement is really a process to be investigated. It's what you do or how you do. One, sometimes the other, perhaps both. It's an art of using the body, and it is only the process of the Feldenkrais method that the musician can teach oneself to play anew.